Hello, everybody. This is Casper here with ASA Network. I'm a talent scout for ASA Network, and we have another interview today that I'm very excited to bring to you. I want to introduce you to Jeff. And Jeff was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. He's the youngest of 6 children. He was raised in the projects in a single-parent household and dropped out of school in the 10th grade. After a 12-year battle with alcohol and drugs, Jeff spent over 10 years in and out of prison. He finally decided to go into a rehab program, and upon leaving the program, he was very inspired by Dr. Ben Carlson, a pediatric brain surgeon at Johns Hopkins Hospital. After seeing Dr. Carlson on the evening news, Jeff decided to go back to college. Today, Jeff is a surgical assistant as well as an entrepreneur. He has worked in the medical field now for over 20 years, and he has been involved in business for just as long. Jeff has made it his life's mission to give back some of what he has learned, so he travels often to speak to groups of adults and children about his story, and was recently featured in the book The DNA of Success Stories, How to Maximize Success in Your Life. So please welcome my guest today, Mr. Jeff Brown. Jeff, you there?
I am here, Casper. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited about this interview. Can't wait to get it done.
I hear you, man. I really appreciate you being on the call. Jeff is also a good friend of mine as well, so it's definitely a pleasure to have you on the call. Hey, Jeff, can you kind of give us a little bit more about your background? I know I read your intro there, but can you give us a little bit about your story?
Sure. I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland, and around the late 60s, early 70s, at the height of the civil rights movement, and I was really inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I thought that Dr. King was such an inspiring, towering figure. I had often thought about being just like Dr. King as I was growing up. And after his death, something happened inside of me. I often asked myself, if I was like Dr. King, would I be killed like Dr. King? From that point on, I kind of found myself in a situation where I was lost. There were no real role models where I grew up, none that I really wanted to emulate or imitate. I was always a very good student in school, and I was just in a vacuum for a while. And then around age 12, my mother got married for the second time, and we moved to a different neighborhood where we were in a segregated neighborhood as a child, but now we were in an integrated neighborhood, and I really didn't know how to fit in. I wasn't any good at sports or anything like that, and what I really found that I was good at was drinking, which is something that was very strange to me. Once I learned how to drink and learned that I could drink better than anybody else, I really thought that I had found what I was looking for in life. That alcohol gave me so much courage, and I was able to do things that I couldn't do before, such as talk to young ladies and dance and things like that. But that dream that I once had of being like Dr. King actually became a nightmare.
Yeah.
I found myself caught in this situation where after the first experience with alcohol, I never got the same feeling again. And I chased that feeling for years and years until it eventually led me to drugs. And of course, drugs eventually led me to crime, and crime eventually led me to prison. And I can remember asking myself, how in the world did I end up here? How did I end up in prison? Being the kind of guy that I was a very intelligent young man, but just like many others, I just fell into a trap. And that trap led me down a road that I did not want to go down. And I had to find my way off of that road. And that was an experience within itself. And once I made a decision, that was the first thing I had to do, was make a decision that I wanted to be a better person, and then I had to take action. And once I began to take action, I had no idea. I saw Dr. Carson on television. He had separated Siamese twins that were joined at the head. And I had decided at that moment that I wanted to work in the operating room. Never I had never gone to college. I hadn't stepped into college, didn't even know what a college credit was, but I knew that I wanted to work in surgery.
Yeah.
And from there, I took action. I didn't know how I was going to pay for college. I didn't even know whether I was college material, but I did know that I was going to give it my all. And once I took the first step and got into action, the rest is history. Here I am today.
Wow, wow. Now, how did that translate or change into your entrepreneurial side? How did you get started in business?
You know, growing up back in those days, there were lots of infomercials that would come on television, and they were usually about real estate. And it would talk about how you could get into real estate and make money and do all of these things. And I was fascinated with the idea of being able to do what nobody else in my family had ever done, and that was to make a lot of money. So I began to go to different real estate seminars, and then I got introduced to network marketing. And I was fascinated with leverage. I was fascinated with the idea that I could build a team of like-minded people and we could market a product and make money. So once I was bitten by the bug, I could never give up the thought or the idea of being able to be successful in business.
I know that feeling. All right, all right. Well, I know you're excited about a new program that you have, and I want to pull up that website because you were telling me about it, and I said, you know, we need to get this information out to our members. So tell us about your current venture.
Well, my current venture is called MPB Today, and basically what we do is we have a technique that we teach to people, and we teach them how to eliminate their grocery bills forever. And it's a program that's saving the average family from $500 to $1,000 a month. Now, the reason I like this program is because I don't have a product that I have to convince people that they need. We all need food, and we all understand that. So MPB Today also allows me to do something that I've always wanted to do, and that's help people to succeed. See, I understand and I know what it feels like to be successful, and I really want to share that with other people and help them to understand and help them to know what it feels like to be successful. So there's nothing more that excites me today than being able to take a person from 0 to 100 and watch them as they go through life, and they don't have to struggle anymore. They don't have to fight and struggle to be able to feed their families or pay their mortgage or their rent or their car note. That's a very exciting thing for me, and that's why I chose this company.
All right. Well, I know you and I both have the same passion to help people, so I definitely understand that. What would you say, or if you could capsulate some advice to give our members as to what it really takes to be successful in business, or what would be your advice? You know, if you said, look, just do this to be successful, and you'll be successful in business.
Well, the first thing I would say is to identify the market that you want to be in. If you want to be successful, identify what it is you want to do. And once you identify what you want to do, you have to understand that it can't just be about money. It can't just be about you. It has to be something that's going to be helpful to other people, something that's going to really put value in other people's lives. So identify what you want to do, make sure it has value, and take action. You see, we can identify 5, 10, 15 different things, and then we'll go ask people who've never done anything what they think about what we're looking at. And usually those people will give you advice that's contrary to what you actually believe, and you end up following that advice and giving up your dreams. So never give up your dreams. Never listen to somebody who hasn't done what it is you're trying to do. And surround yourself with good people and good programs like ASA, and find out exactly how you fit into this whole scheme of things and move forward.
Well, that's awesome, Jeff. You know, I appreciate your time. Are there any final thoughts you want to share with us before we close out the interview?
Yes, there are a few final thoughts, and uh, there are just three things that I think if people remember these three things, they'll never fail. The first thing you have to be successful is a desire. So you have to have a desire to want to do better. The second thing you have to do is you have to take action. A desire without an action is just a wish. And the third thing you have to do is you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in God. You have to believe that what you're doing is going to ultimately change the life of somebody besides yourself. And surround yourself with good people. It is very important to surround yourself with good people. If you do those things, you can't fail.
Wow. Well said. I'm not going to try to even even top that one. I appreciate your time, Jeff. Man, it was great information for our members. I know they're going to enjoy this interview as I have enjoyed asking you the questions. So with that, this is Casper Stockham with ASA Network with another interview in the can. And thank you, Jeff, for your time, and thank you guys for checking in. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.